We work as we do because, of course, we need to. Let's start there with the undeniable truth. We tell ourselves this simple, practical story every morning when the alarm goes off. We tell it to ourselves as we commute, as we sit in meetings, as we answer one more email late into the evening. We work because nothing is cheap, because the bills are incessant, and because of all the good, wise, and sensible reasons that we've been highly aware of since mid-adolescence at least. The mortgage is real. The cost of food is real. The desire to provide for ourselves and our loved ones is a noble and powerful motivator. We cannot and should not dismiss these realities. They're the foundation of the world we live in. But that is too neat, and we know it. Deep down, in the quiet moments we so carefully try to avoid, we know that there is also, alongside this practical narrative, something a bit more complicated. There's a shadow story that we use the idea of necessity to avoid looking at directly. We hold up the shield of responsibility to protect us from a more unsettling truth. The truth is, we work so hard, so relentlessly, not just to survive, but because we are in terror of stillness. What happens when a noise stops? When the to-do list is done, the inbox is empty, and the house is quiet. In that silence, a different kind of sound begins to emerge, a murmur from within, and we are terrified of what it might say. So we keep moving. We work because being scared of the world-off deadlines, of competitors, of economic downturns offers the most respectable, socially acceptable distraction from a far more personal dread, the dread of our own minds. We throw ourselves into our tasks because we have no idea how to let anyone know us outside of our achievements. Think about it. When you meet someone new, what's one of the first questions you ask? What do you do? Our entire identity becomes fused with our profession, our title, our output. We have built an elaborate suit of armor out of our accomplishments, our promotions, our productivity. We wear it everywhere, and we fear that if we were to ever take it off, there would be nothing of value underneath. It seems inconceivable to us that we might have any inherent worth, any right to exist and be loved beyond what we do. This pattern often begins early, so early we don't even recognize it as conditioning. We were schooled in the art of being terrified. As children, we were praised for being busy, for good grades, for winning the race. We were taught that idleness was a sin and rest was a weakness. Our elders, meaning well, equipped us for a world of competition. And now, even as adults, we are still too young, too spiritually immature to question their teachings because their voices have become our own inner critic. So, we use the noise from without to drown that persistent murmur from within. We fill every spare moment with podcasts, with scrolling, with one more project. The frantic rhythm of the external world becomes a sedative for the internal one. This is why we can't read poetry or simply sit and watch a sunset. We despise anything that doesn't have a charted purpose or a quantifiable goal. A poem doesn't increase our market value. A sunset doesn't advance our career. These purposeless, beautiful things threaten to collide us with the unexpected, with feelings we've locked away, with a vast, uncharted territory of our own soul. We don't allow ourselves to be acquainted with the night. The night, both literal and metaphorical, is a time of quiet and reflection. It's when the distractions fall away. And we fear that if we started with the questions that surface in the dark AM, I happy? Is this all there is? Did I miss my chance? We have no idea where the answers might lead us. We have no idea what might need to be discarded. A job? A relationship? An entire way of life? The unknown is so frightening that we prefer the certainty of our dissatisfaction. And so we run. We are in a constant, breathless flight from untenable sadness and regret. The promotion we didn't get, the words we never said, the grief we never fully processed. We believe that if we just run fast enough, we can outpace these ghosts. We run because we haven't got too many or even any real friends. We may have networks, colleagues, and acquaintances, but true friendship requires a vulnerability and a presence that our frantic pace doesn't allow for. It requires sitting with someone in their silence, not just celebrating their success. We run because few people ever just held us quietly without demanding anything in return. We were held when we achieved, praised when we performed. But the simple, unconditional comfort of being held just for being you, for many of us, that is a foreign land. We run, ultimately, because we have no idea what to do with ourselves other than run. The state of war, of striving, competing, and struggling is familiar. It has rules, enemies, and objectives. But we find peace so much harder than war. Peace is a vast, open space. It has no map. It asks nothing of us but to be present. And that can feel more intimidating than any battle. We run because perhaps we sense that the real work, the most important and terrifying work of all, might lie elsewhere. But what if that elsewhere isn't another mountain to climb or another battle to win? What if the real work is the opposite of running? Is the work of stopping, of turning around, and of finally facing the things we have spent a lifetime fleeing from? It is the work of learning to sit in the quiet, to allow the stillness to envelop you, and to listen to that murmur from within. And in that listening, you may discover that the voice you were so afraid of isn't a monster. It is a guide. It is the compass of your own heart, pointing you back to yourself. It is the radical, revolutionary act of believing that you are worthy of love and connection simply for being, not for doing. It's the courage to slowly, carefully take off the armor of achievement and let someone see the beautifully imperfect person underneath. It is the work of making real friends, of learning to be the person who can hold someone else quietly in their sorrow. And in doing so, learning how to receive that same grace yourself. This is the journey from the familiar war of endless striving to the profound, life-altering peace of self-acceptance. It is the hardest and most meaningful work we will ever do. It's not a race to a finish line, but a slow, deliberate walk home to yourself. If these ideas resonate with you, if you feel that pull to stop running and begin the real work, then you're not alone. This is a journey many of us are on. Consider joining our community to explore these ideas further. Subscribe for more reflections on navigating the beautiful and complex challenges of being human. We're so glad you are here.